You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey there, Young and the Restless fans. Today, I want to talk about some big things happening for two couples, including Claire and Billy and their partners. It's Belinda from Soap Dirt, and there's huge spoilers that point to couple complications coming soon. But please click subscribe if you're not following us. Now let's get right into it. First thing I want to talk about is Billy Abbott and Sally Spectra and a big move that he makes this week. After that, we're going to talk about Claire Newman's terrible reaction to Kyle Abbott's proposal and whether that leads her down a road she's never been on before. Claire might even betray Kyle. All right, let's get into it. So Billy, as you know, is a wild card when it comes to relationships. He doesn't have the best track record. Not only does he take risks and gambles wildly, not just with money, but also with love and with feelings, but he's also been known to cheat. The larger issue, I think, though, is that he is unreliable, as his exes will tell you. Victoria has been let down by Billy more times than I can count. Plus, he was unfaithful to her. But one of the biggest betrayals I can think of was when he slept with Summer Newman while he had been seeing her mom, Phyllis Summers. That happened right before he went off to gambling rehab. What a way to leave Genoa City. But to be fair, Billy has also been handed his fair share of heartache by the women in his life, most notably his mother, Jill Abbott. So, of course, Billy's mommy issues make things very hard in his relationships. And if you don't remember, he had just proposed to Phyllis, and they were sitting together at Nick and Sharon's most recent wedding when the bride blew up and Sharon revealed that Nick and Phyllis had slept together, and Billy immediately called off their engagement about 5 minutes after he'd proposed. And of course, when he was seeing Chelsea, it was like a year ago, she fell back into bed with her ex, Adam Newman, who is Billy's chief nemesis, worst possible person she could have cheated with. However, I will say that Billy has been a pretty good partner to Sally Spectra, and he hasn't really let her down yet like he's done in the past with other relationships. At the same time, Sally has her eyes wide open about Billy, and when he wouldn't let up on the idea of pursuing Chancellor, Sally put her foot down and demanded that Billy respect the risk that she took by leaving Marchetti. And that's when he named Sally the CEO of AbbottCom. And this week, Billy makes some sort of commitment to Sally. And I don't think it's about business, simply because Billy already named Sally CEO of the company. I get the feeling that what Billy does is more personal and hopefully more romantic. Although Sally and Billy got involved pretty much as a rebound when Adam and Chelsea cheated on them, it's clearly grown into a real relationship with real feelings. So I suspect Billy may ask Sally to move in with him. But what I think would be much more romantic and obviously much more of a commitment is if Billy proposes to Sally, because she has stuck with him through thick and thin. And I definitely think she's proved she is a loyal partner. Then again, if Billy asked Sally to marry him, I'm not sure she'd say yes, because she may think this is him gambling again, but gambling on love. She may want to take it more slowly. Sally may prefer to move in with Billy and give it a test run before she commits. Either way, there's a really big change coming for Sally and Billy. And speaking of big changes, Claire Newman might be contemplating a major shift in her life. Let's be real. Kyle messes up so bad by proposing to Claire this week, hot on the heels of confessing that he had been lying to her about Audra. Claire asked for some time to think things through, but instead, Kyle pressed for them to move in together and get engaged. So this week, Claire kind of snaps at him and asks, "What's next? A baby?" I think she feels like things with Kyle are out of control. He's moving way too fast after being dishonest with her. And it's important to remember, this is Claire's first and only relationship, and she's got some serious emotional issues because she was raised by crazy, vengeful Jordan Howard. And Claire already warned Kyle that dishonesty was a trigger for her. But he didn't listen to Claire, and he didn't listen to his parents, Jack and Diane, when they said, slow your roll. And Kyle went ahead and pulled out that big old ring. And when Claire asked when he had bought it, Kyle said he did it that same day. So from Claire's perspective, Kyle got caught in a lie. He'd been kissing another woman. Claire isn't sure whether he intended to cheat or not. And then he ran and bought a ring and proposed. So of course, she's skeptical, and Claire walks out on the proposal and refuses to kiss him goodnight. And then she runs into Holden Novak, who has a huge crush on her. And when he asks what's wrong and encourages Claire to talk to him, well, she decides she wants to get drunk because she has never been drunk before, and Holden is totally down with that. So what I'm wondering is whether Claire may wake up in bed with Holden. Let's be clear. That would probably shock Claire, but I know it would thrill Holden because he is head over heels in a big old crush on her. And since Claire has never been drunk and she's probably a real lightweight and she's been doing all these first-time experiences, you never know. This might be her first experience cheating on a boyfriend. What I think is interesting about this, though, is I actually don't think if she got drunk and slept with Holden, I don't think Claire would lie to Kyle about it. If she wakes up with Holden, I think she'll go, whoops, but then she probably won't be a hypocrite. And I think she would come clean to him. Now, this would kind of put Claire on the back foot because Kyle did stop short of sleeping with Audra, but at the same time, Claire doesn't know if he intended to stop or maybe it was happenstance. And remember, Audra told her, he kissed me in Paris. And what still hasn't come out is the whole truth because it wasn't just a kiss. Now, Audra came to his door scheming right after they found out Damien had died. Kyle answered the door in a towel, presumably wearing nothing else because you don't wear anything under a towel. And then they started making out. They wound up on the bed. He was on top of her in only a towel and then finally stopped it. But there was full body contact because I think everybody was watching that going, whoa, is this going to stop or not? So if Claire had a snapshot of what happened in that train car, I don't think she would feel very bad if she woke up next to Holden. And if it does happen that way, honestly, Kyle has nobody to blame but himself. So we'll see how this week shakes out and whether we have Billy and Sally getting much closer to a happily ever after and Kyle and Claire getting much further from their happy ending.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.